Hello and welcome to the Sky Spirit channel. I hope you are well. How are you today? It's wonderful to see you here. If you're not already a subscriber, please subscribe to the channel because I take questions after I've finished the reading this morning. Starting off with some astrology for today. Do you know it's a really weird day astrology wise because there's no sort of major planetary stuff going on, which can mean that it's very quiet. It's like a day where you can catch your breath and you might feel a sense of calm because you're not being sort of pulled in different directions. It's also because there's that sort of sense of calm, or there can be, it's also a really good time to connect with your higher self, do work with your higher self, or connect with spirit guides even. So if you feel that you need that chat with something astral or something higher, then it's a really good day to do that. Now, we've also just had the full moon, the pink moon, which was yesterday. So we're still under the full moon energy. So that can be, it's still a good time to do your full moon work, charging your crystals, letting go of things that don't serve you, perhaps sowing the seeds to move forward, forgiving yourself and forgiving others for what might have happened in the lunar cycle preceding. So for the 28 days preceding yesterday, you can let go of some of that pain or give it back to the earth, charge your crystals and move forward. So that's a little bit of astrology for you. I'm going to move into a collective reading. Now, there was something that I wanted to do. I wanted to see if I could share the screen, and I can. Right, what I want to do is, because I keep going on about like how I've been reading tarot for decades, and I found a photograph of me at my first ever tarot gig. So just let's see if I can get this to work. Hopefully you should see on the screen a photograph of me at, I think I'm about 9 or 10 there, at a garden fete doing tarot for, I think it was the first time I'd had a professional gig. So there we go. I hope you can see that. Let me know if you can see it. I'm going to click stop share now, and hopefully that will mean that I'm back on the screen. It's a blank screen. Thank you, KLJ. Oh, that's a shame. I'll try and sort that out for tomorrow, or think of another way of doing it. Damn it. I really wish that I'd shared. Never mind. Right, so collective reading. Let's have a look and see what we have got for the collective. Ooh, lovely. Oh my goodness, they are such good cards. Right, I've got three major arcana cards today, which says it's a powerful day, and it's a day where you can sow the seeds of change. So just like that's reflected with the planetary alignments today, and these are brilliant cards. This is okay. So first of all, we've got the Fool. The Fool is about embracing new beginnings, having that spirit of youth, tackling things with an open mind, just being excited about being in the world and new paths and taking on new projects, meeting new people, going on adventures, whether that's literal, so whether you're stepping into a new sort of phase of life and adventure, going away on holiday, or whether it's just like you're taking a new path, whether it's like this sense of newness, sense of a new you moving forward. And it's like, this is a card for the brave. This is a card that says, you know, be who you were before you got scared of life. Remember who you were when you were filled with childlike wonder and everything was to be played with and everything was to be enjoyed and laughter. And, you know, you didn't have those worries of adulthood on your back constantly. So be the Fool today and step forward, because that's going to lead you to the Empress. And the Empress is the creative female, divine, feminine force that manifests exactly what you want. So this combination with the Fool and the Empress is saying, step forward, take the bull by the horns, be brave, and then become the Empress, because the Empress is the queen of her own destiny, and she's the person that's in control. She's literally the Empress of the tarot deck. So by being brave, you're going to achieve Empress powers. And also look at this card for the third. I love these cards. This is the High Priestess. So this is saying not only will you be able to manifest what you want in the physical world, but your new path is leading you to a point where you're going to know yourself intuitively inside. You're going to be a queen of your own intuition and a queen of knowing what you want on a soul level. So it's like the advice of these cards is so clear, isn't it? Step forward, be brave, take new paths. They will lead you into the space of power when you can manifest what you want. And that's also going to include you developing your intuition. So maybe that new path is leading you to something esoteric. Maybe it's leading you to read tarot cards. If you're led down that path, then I highly recommend that you take it, because the tarot really, it's not just a tool for telling people what might happen. It's a tool for self-exploration, and it's a tool for allowing you to explore assets of your personality and digging deep into what motivates you. So these are fantastic cards. I'm so excited with these. Right, okay, let's move on to the 12 card reading. So for those of you who haven't been here before, what I ask you to do for this reading is to choose a number between 1 and 12, or to ask your guides to assist you with choosing a number between 1 and 12. Or you can choose more than one number. There are no rules here. You can choose all the numbers if you want and take a message from each card, or you can just choose one card and see how that goes. Now, remember, if you've got any specific questions, then do stick them in the chat and I will come to them at the end of this video. So let's have a look and see what we've got. So I'm going to lay these cards out. And I put them upside down so I get a little surprise too when I turn them over. Eventually, when I've developed my technical skills to a place that's other than absolutely zero, then perhaps I'll be able to do a split screen so you'll be able to see them going down as well. We're going to start with, because we had the Fool, I'm going to start with number 1 because that's the beginning of the journey. So the beginning of the journey, this is the 10 of Wands, and this is a card that's about carrying burdens, and it's about feeling like the past weeks or the past couple of months have felt like they've been dragging you down, okay? And they felt like you're carrying a lot on your shoulders. It could be that you're supporting people who have been through a hard time. You are the shoulder that's being cried on. Or it could be that you've got your own stuff going on, which has taken a lot of juggling. You can see this man's carrying his wands and he's struggling to keep them all together. But it's not a bad card, because in the background of this card, I can never get my fingers to go the right way because I'm working with a mirror screen here. In the background, we've got a mountain and a castle on top of it. When you see a mountain with tarot, it's reminding you that when you climb to the top of a mountain, so when you get through all those challenges and get to the top, you will have a beautiful view. You will be above the clouds of confusion, above those trials and tribulations and challenges. You'll be able to look around, look at your kingdom and see how far you've come, and then make plans for going further. And because this is the castle on the top, this indicates that this guy, all right, he's carrying a lot, but he's got his destination in sight. So he's nearly home. So it's going to be really soon that you'll be able to put these burdens down and enjoy the view from the top of the mountain. So I love that card. Number two, we have Temperance reversed. So Temperance is I always find it quite a difficult card because it sort of talks about moderation, and when it's reversed, it's like asking you, are you moderating your life? Are there things that are out of balance, or is there some kind of conflict? Is there some chaos that you need to address in order to return to the balance of Temperance, which is about moderation, which is about balancing your spiritual life with your physical life, your work life with your home life, just like that entire sort of balance, that being able to sit back and manage everything, having your ducks in a row. So this card, because it's come out reversed, if you've chosen number 2, I'd say that this card is just giving you a nudge to say, like, are there any areas of your life where you could really do with addressing the balance? Or are the loose ends? Are there people that perhaps you've been meaning to get in touch with, and you keep putting it off, keep putting it off, keep putting it off. And I do that. And then eventually it feels really awkward because like you haven't been in touch for ages. And this is the kind of situation where this card will come up and ask you to restore that balance. And you always find that when you've, like if you haven't spoken to anybody for ages and you should, and you start feeling guilty, and then you talk to them and you suddenly feel like there's a weight off your shoulder, and you feel like shoulders, and you feel like, you've restored the balance, and you go, I'm never gonna do that again. I'm gonna stay in touch. And then if you're anything like me, life gets too fast again, and you end up just going straight back into, oh my God, I haven't contacted them for weeks. But this card is reminding you just to, if there's any situations like that, and that was a literal example, but it could be anything in your life, are the situations where you can restore balance in order to feel like this beautiful angel who's pouring water from one cup to the other, because that's a balance of emotions. That's enabling you to be emotionally in control because you are the queen of your emotions. And the good thing about this card too is that this is an astral angel. So it indicates that you're being watched over and you're being guided by the divine hand at the moment. So it's telling you that it's a message from your, could be a message from your guardian angel if you subscribe to that, or it could be your higher self if you prefer to look at it like that. But it's like you have this protective aura around you while you're making these decisions, but do address any imbalances. Number six, you've got the Wheel of Fortune. So literally this card can mean that you are lucky today, because it's like spin the Wheel of Fortune and see what will come out. But it can also be, a wheel is something that just goes round and round and round. And it's like the course of life. So if you chose number 6, this could indicate that there are big events going on around you. It's a major card, major arcana. So it talks about big forces moving. And it's like these are just turning, these are unraveling in front of you. And because the Wheel of Fortune is destiny, it's like there's very little that you can do to change things at the moment. It's like, don't fight it, because it's going to happen. And if you just watch from a distance, so you almost try to not be involved with the minutiae, don't be involved with the details, don't get upset by little things, look at the bigger picture, sit back and watch destiny unfold. Now, this could be bringing somebody into your life that is intended to be there, or it could be moving somebody out of your life who's not supposed to be there. And remember, some people are removed from your life because there are better things to come, and they just are not meant for you, or situations are not meant for you. And I think that the biggest sort of advice from this card, or the most important advice, is like, allow those doors to close. Don't cling on to things or try to force things to happen, because sometimes when you have to force things, then they don't work out because they weren't supposed to be. And it's like you work really hard to get somewhere, and then it's not right for you. So this card is reminding you just to sit back and go with the flow. And sometimes, doesn't it feel wonderful when you are able to do that? Because I think as human beings, we tend to want to be in control. We want to be in the driving seat, and we can feel quite uncomfortable when we feel a little bit like the wheel is going round and it's going faster and faster, and we're not in control. But if we can just sit back and feel that forward motion without feeling the need to control it or direct it, then it feels very relaxing. And it's like almost a Zen type state, isn't it? With just detaching and just to sort of allow yourself to be part of it, but without sort of absorbing all the energy. So you're there, but you're not involved in directing it. I'm just reading what Nacy's written there. Snapped a pic of the clouds, the sunset after the UK had a partial eclipse. Excellent. I'd love to see that photograph. Right. Okay. Number 3. Let's go to number 3. Wow. Brilliant cards today. We have the Magician. The Magician, look at his arms. He's going as above, so below, as below, so above. And this is because he has all the tools in front of him on this table, and he can manifest what he wants. So he's in charge of his emotions. He's in charge of his intellect. He is mastering any conflict around him. He is able to be diplomatic. He is able to summon up the energy if he needs it. So if you chose number three, you're in a position of great power today, and you're in a position where you can make the changes. So unlike the Wheel of Fortune, where we're sitting back and allowing things to happen, if you chose number three, perhaps this is you taking the reins, taking control, and making things happen. So it's like if you've been sitting back and waiting for things and thinking, yeah, it'll come eventually, then if you have this card, perhaps you can nudge things along. Perhaps you can, if you're waiting for a phone call, if you're waiting for a message, if you're waiting for somebody to make a decision, why don't you contact them and try to push that along, or ask them to make that decision? Ask them to put their cards on the table, no pun intended, and to, this is a card where you get what you want, all right? He is the manifester. He can be manipulative, sure, but that's in a positive way, because he is, if you imagine somebody who, like an airbender, they're like sort of in charge of the elements, and you can send the wind here and you can send the energy of the sun here, and you're like in control of the universe and sort of spinning the plate and sorting this here. And this is you today, number three. You are the magician. So allow that power to flow through you. If you're not feeling the power of the magician today, if you instead are feeling the Monday morning vibes, then take a little rest and then manifest that power and get ready to use it, because it's within you. It's, if you're feeling a little bit tired this morning, don't feel despondent because you're not feeling the magician yet. Just allow it to grow throughout the day and then tackle what you have in mind later on, because regardless, this power is with you today, even if you don't feel it yet, because it's still relatively early. You've still got a day ahead of you to get on the magician tip. Number five, you've got the Queen of Wands reversed. So the Queen of Wands reversed can feel a little bit like, it can be somebody around you who isn't being straight with you, or or it can be yourself. Are you being straight with yourself? It sort of talks about deceit, but not in a horrendous way. It can be self-deceit. Are you being honest with yourself about what you want out of life? And it can also be if it's somebody else, because remember, this is a one card reading. So I would be completely lying if I told you that, yes, this is you, or yes, this is somebody else, because it's a little bit more general than that. But it's you or it's somebody else. And it's either you're deceiving yourself, you're not being honest about what you want out of a situation, what you need out of a situation, where you'd like a situation to be. Are you looking at things with rose-tinted glasses on? Are you looking back at things with rose-tinted glasses? Or if this is somebody else, is somebody else stringing you along? Is somebody else confusing you? Is somebody else not giving you the full picture? Are the things that are hidden? Now on this card as well, when she's in an upright position, she has a black cat. I have a black cat too, and she looks very much like this cat. So this cat, and she's looking at the cat, and this is a reminder to focus on your intuition. The cat is in a symbol of the intuition inside of the high priestess that resides within. So the card in its reversed orientation reminds you that if you are struggling with this like sense of, are you being truthful with yourself, or is somebody else being truthful, then trust your intuition. Look to your interior black cat and ask yourself the deep questions, and you will get the answers. Because remember, a reverse card is simply a blockage of the full energy, and you are sovereign. You are the queen of the Wands energy, and the Wands is somebody who knows who they are. They've got inspiration, they're passionate. Okay, so if that feels a little bit blocked by this sense of confusion or not seeing the full picture, then remember that this is you, and put your crown back on. Look to your intuition to give you the full story, for you to ascertain the facts, and then you can put that crown back on and move forward. Number four, you've got the Nine of Pentacles reversed. So the Nine of Pentacles reversed can feel like you're a little bit stuck. It can also feel like there's a little bit of uncertainty about your domestic arrangements, or you could be having, sometimes it comes up when there's like, this is really literal, but if you're having like work done on your house and there's like hold-ups, delays, because the Nine of Pentacles is very much about domestic bliss. So when it's upside down, it can be that there's sort of a project around the home has come to a stumbling block, and it could be that, you know, there's issues around your domestic setup which aren't sort of very satisfactory at the moment. This card can also mean that you feel a little bit not independent. It can mean that you're relying on somebody else around the domestic front. So it feels like this card can come up as well when you're asking somebody else for their input for decisions, where you should trust yourself as the Nine of Pentacles lady, and you should trust yourself to be independent, to make your own decisions. So let's have a look at this card in the reverse. So we're looking at domestic. We're looking at things that could be stumbling blocks. We're looking at problems around the home, things that have been held back, things that have been delayed. We could be looking at ideas or solutions or decisions where you've relied on somebody else. So it's like that feeling of dependence, rather than being this magnificent woman that you truly are inside and making that decision for yourself. Because this lady is just, she is opulent, she is independent, she is in a garden full of pentacles, which is stuff that she's grown. She's got grapes growing around her. When you see grapes in the tarot, grapes are hard to grow, so they indicate that there's been a lot of work gone in, and then the success is there, the harvest is ready for you. And she's even got this wonderful bird on her hand, and that's indicating that she has all her ducks in a row. That was a bit of a strange metaphor, but she's in control of what's around her, and the bird is happiness, and she feels happy. So the reversal is just a blockage of this full power. So don't think that this is a bad card by any means. It's just asking you to look at these areas where there could be stumbling blocks, where there could be obstacles, and iron them out in order to retain your full power as the Nine of Pentacles independent woman. Number seven, you've got the Five of Wands. The Five of Wands can be teamwork. It can be having a good team around you. But if you have a look at the image here, they're also sort of almost like fighting with their wands. And that's talking about competition. So it's like having competition around you. And it can sometimes be, although it's more often when it's reversed, it's negative competition. But it could be that, you know, when people are competing against you for whatever it is, whether it's at work, whether it's for a love, whether it's something you've set your heart on, then it can be it can feel like a negative experience because they're sort of getting in your way, or they're trying to get what you want. But what this card is also reminding you is that sometimes a competitive team around us, or competitive people around us, can send us to the next level. So we level up because we've got to level up. So you've got to up your game in order to win the, I keep wanting to say battle, it's not battle, in order to win the situation, in order to overcome the challenges, and in order to come out on top. It's like you have to level up. So you have to up your game. This is a positive card. And with it being a 5, it talks about change as well. So it's sort of indicating that everything's speeding up around you. There's competition around you. And it's reminding you to keep your eye on the ball, all right? And to also keep your eye on what's going on around you, and to keep your eye on any sort of challenges that come up, or any people that are competing for the same thing as you. And make sure that you've got all your boxes ticked, and you know that what your path forward is. So you know what you're going to do in order to achieve the thing that you have been desiring. So whatever you thought of there, when I said the thing that you've been desiring, that is what the competition is about, okay? Because what comes into our heads immediately is really so often a nod from your intuition, because our thoughts get so in the way of our intuition, and that interior voice gets drowned out by all this logical thought patterns and that monkey mind that goes on and on and on. But when you have that flash of, and I say to you, the thing that you desire, and you go, that's your intuition talking. Good morning, Julesy Bob. So take a look around you. Check out any competition. Make sure you're leveled up. You're on top of your game. Move forward. Take the world by storm. Number 7. Number 8. Ooh, I like this card. I really do. This is the Eight of Swords. The Eight of Swords, when it's this way up, you can see the image there. It's a woman blindfolded in a cage of swords, which is quite a sinister illustration. And what it means is she's in prison. She's made a prison of her own making. She's made this prison and she's blindfolded. She can't see a way out of it. And it's like when you impose restrictions on yourself or when you set yourself unachievable targets. But when this card is reversed, it becomes a beautiful card because it's saying, bang, you are smashing your way out of this prison today. You are sort of shaking off the bonds, getting rid of the ropes that have tied you down, ripping off that blindfold. And suddenly, like the Fool that came up in our collective reading, there's so many paths opening up in front of you. Now that you've shaken off the shackles, I don't even know if that's a saying or if I've got things confused here, but there's something about shackles, isn't there? Got rid of the shackles. But this is you. You are now able to step forward as that Fool from the collective reading and take on new paths. Because whatever's held you back, whatever was your prison, it could be self-restriction. It can also be somebody who's holding you back, somebody who is tying you to the past or putting restrictions on you or stopping you doing what you want to do. Or it could be somebody, somebody at work who is like, not giving you what you want, holding you back, sort of being that negative voice in your ear constantly that's putting you down or making you feel like not the queen that you are. But when it's upside down like this, it's like you are the queen, you are breaking out of here. Tell these people to take a hike because they don't know your path. Only you know your path, and you shouldn't hold yourself back. You really should step forward because life is too short to stay in this kind of prison. And you need to step forward. You need to take the bull by the horns and you need to move it and take up that energy because we're swords. This is like fast. This is being in control of your intellect, being the person who's able to put solutions into action, taking action, moving forward. So this is you. Leave those chains behind, break free, move forward. Number 9. Yeah, I'm going to use number 9 because I keep accidentally finishing on number 9 and trying to not do that. Right, number 9, you have the Two of Pentacles. This is a card that says you're the person who's spinning all the plates at the moment. You are the person who's achieving balance. You're the person who is balancing the books almost. You are the person who is able to maintain that balance, able to use your resources, able to pull on the resources around you, whether those are things that you have or whether that's delegating to other people or taking good advice from people or listening to what somebody has to tell you in order to achieve your balance. And you see the illustration here is this guy, and he's like juggling, but he's juggling well. And he's also got these two pentacles are connected by an infinity symbol. And that means that this balance is something universal as well. It's enabling things to unfold in the future that are going to come back on you in a positive way. So it's like what you're managing now and the things that you're balancing and the plans that you're making, the resourcefulness that you're exercising at the moment is laying plans for the future, and positive harvests are coming because of the things that you're putting in place at the moment. Now, because this is a 2, it's an early stage. So when you see an early number in the tarot, it's talking about something that's just started. It's talking about planning. It's talking about laying plans down for the future and making actions now that affect the future. And because we have the infinity symbol here, tying these two pentacles together, these are things that are far reaching. They are going to affect you for a long time. So rest assured that you are in the position where you're making positive decisions at the moment. It's a card of reassurance because it tells you, it's like a tap on the shoulder to say, yeah, you're doing well. Yeah, you've made the right decision. Because it's pentacles, it can also be about security, not always about financial security. Sometimes it is, often it is, I should say, because, finances, money, we'd all like to be not reliant on money and just, to be like monks who just give up everything and we live in the hills and everything's really happy and it makes us full of zen and feel like so rested and wonderful. But that's not always the case in the real world. We sometimes need money, or we usually need money in order to feel secure. So this can be about balancing the books, literally, but it can also be about Pentacles is security. It can be anything that makes you feel secure: work, home, jobs, things that are around you, possessions that make you feel like you're going to be looked after in the future. So these decisions that you make now are good decisions. They're solid decisions. They're going to move you into a place of consistent security and balance. Number 10, you have the Ace of Swords reversed. So the Ace of Swords reversed is a bit of a sticky card, and it's talking about there can be a sense of interruption, obstacles, things that have tripped you up a little bit, and things that are getting in the way of achieving your full power, which, if you look at the Ace of Swords, it's this hand coming through the clouds of confusion with the sword of battle. And the sword there indicates victory, success, moving forward, cutting through the clouds of confusion. And what it is when it's upside down, it's saying, yes, that energy's there, but it feels like there's a bit of a block. And very often when it's a sword, the block can be intellectual. The block can be of your own making, and it's like a thought process. So it's like not believing in yourself, not stepping into your true power. It's self-doubt. It's thinking, well, I could do this, but nah, I'm not going to try that because I won't be able to do it. I'm not clever enough. I'm not pretty enough. I don't have the skills. I haven't got the contacts. I don't have the friends that are going to do this. It's all those stumbling blocks that we put on ourselves. It's all those negative thought patterns that sort of replay in your head. It's that, when you always go to that negative view that keeps popping up, like, yeah, that's not going to work for me because XYZ didn't work in the past, so let's just live there and assume that nothing will ever work in the future. So this is the card that underlines that sort of thinking and tells you to shake it off, become the upright version of the Ace of Swords, take that sword in your hand, cut through those clouds, be confident in yourself. Be that person who believes in yourself. And the more that you do that, and at first it can feel like you have to force yourself to do that, and it can feel a bit false, like you can go, yes, I believe in myself, while the little voice is going, no, you don't. Yeah, you're going to fail anyway. So fake it anyway, though. Act like you believe in yourself. There's that wonderful saying, isn't it, that fake it until you make it. And that's really relevant when you're talking about the reverse Ace of Swords, because it's telling you, okay, even if you don't believe in yourself at the moment, fake it until you make it. Because what happens on a physiological aspect with that is that when you think in a certain way, you've got neural pathways in your brain that enable that sort of structured thinking. And if you keep thinking negatively, it's like you solidify those pathways. And this is actual biological fact. And that's why you get stuck in certain thought patterns. So if you fake feeling good and feeling confident, your subconscious doesn't know the difference between something you're just faking and something that you're actually feeling. So you keep saying it, you keep plastering that smile on, you keep telling everybody how well you're going to do it, something you keep reminding yourself how confident and how able you are. And eventually you change those neural pathways. It's called neuroplasticity. You change those neural pathways to go in positive ways. So it's so powerful. It can change that depressive state and that feeling of inadequacy, that feeling of constant failure. It can change your mindset around. So become the Ace of Swords today in the upright position and remind yourself this is temporary and you can change it. Number 11, we've got the Four of Wands reversed. So the Four of Wands reversed, it can be a little bit of, you could be feeling a little bit lonely with this card, or a little bit disconnected from those around you. It's like you feel that the people around you are not giving you stability. The community around you isn't being as supportive. That is right. Supported. I got my head confused there. As supportive as you would like them to be. And it can feel like you are feeling like out on a limb, feeling like, wow, I've got to do all this myself again. I'm the one who has to make these decisions. This card comes up for me when I'm feeling like, Sometimes I feel like I live by myself. I'm an independent woman. I make my decisions. I do what I want when I want. And then other times I'm like, why is everything on my head? Why don't I have somebody to help me make the decisions? Why can't somebody just give me some advice? Why aren't the people around me that help me with this? So it's that sort of feeling. But it's a double-edged sword, because again, it's the reversal of the full energy, and the full energy of this card is that domestic bliss. It's that feeling of control. It's the feeling that you are enough, whether that is you and a whole family of people and a massive community, or whether that is just you alone and you are enough. So this card is reminding you today, if you're feeling lonely, if you're feeling like, when you can be in a room full of people but you still feel alone, if that is you today, then give yourself a break, because you can't feel connected to everybody all the time. And especially with the planetary alignments today, with that sort of lack of planetary stuff going on, which makes it almost like a lull before the storm, then it's a good time to give yourself some downtime, and just to sort of be the tortoise, withdraw your head into your shell and look within, and sort of wait for that energy to return, because it will do, because this energetic influence is around you. The full power of the card is around you. Now, some tarot readers don't even read the cards as reversed. So they'll pick up a reverse and they'll read this energy anyway. But I read reversals as well, because I like to make life difficult for myself. But I always say it's still the same energy. It's just that it's that thing with physics, isn't it? It's like opposing forces. When something goes one way, something goes the other way. So you've got the same energy, but being pulled in two different directions. So this feeling of domestic bliss and independence, and feeling happy with the people around you and that support around you, you can either feel it or you can not feel it, but it's the same thing. Now, what will happen is that this will reverse, and it enables you. It's like that yin yang, isn't it? And darkness and light. You don't appreciate the light if you don't have the dark. If we lived every day in daytime, we would never appreciate how wonderful a sunrise is. So if you live your life full of joy, firstly, people who are like that are like sometimes really irritating, because they're just like over happy, and you just think, can't you just like be realistic sometimes? Because life isn't all rainbows, and sometimes we do feel a little bit out on a limb. But if we didn't experience that sense of not being connected, we wouldn't know what connection is. And so that's the message from this card. It's just to enjoy your sense of not being connected today, because the positive side of that is that you don't have anybody else's problems to deal with, and you don't have to take on board anybody else's point of view or opinion, and you can just really spend that time mentally and emotionally with yourself, deciding what you want and what's going to make you feel the Four of Wands upright again. Last card this morning from our 12, and we have got the Three of Cups reversed. Now, this is really funny, because I thought this morning when I woke up, because I drank wine yesterday, which is really unusual for me, or it is now. It never used to be unusual, but it is now. And I thought this morning I felt a bit groggy, and I was like, that is Three of Cups reversed energy, because it's like exercise, moderation. So this Three of Cups reversed could be as literal as that with you. It could be saying to you, have you overdone it over the weekend? And do you need to exercise some moderation and stop partying so hard? If you see the image on here, you've got these three wonderful ladies who are having a whale of a time, and they've all got their glasses raised in the air. They're dancing, they're singing, they're partying, they're laughing. But when it's reversed, it's like, yeah, it's the next morning, and that energy is just feeling a little bit like it's been expended now, and that you need to rebuild the energy. But it doesn't have to be that literal. So if you haven't been hitting the wine over the weekend, then don't worry about it. This card is still for you. It can mean that energetically, have you had a period where you're sort of full of energy, full of happiness, full of getting things done, and then this morning you feel like it's sort of all ran out and the cups are upside down. The water, the emotional water, is pouring out of them, and it's difficult to fill them back up. So you could be struggling to get moving, could be struggling to motivate. It could feel a little bit too quiet for you today. And if you're the kind of person that enjoys this energy, then this can feel a little bit flat for you. But rest assured that, remember, you can't burn the candle from both ends all the time. And it's like, it's good to have some downtime in order. Again, this is like your Four of Wands reversed. This is a similar sort of thing. It's telling you, okay, have some time off, spend some me time on, addressing what's going to fill you with energy, what's going to bring you back to that point where you're just absolutely full of energy and rejoicing. What is going to bring you back to party you rather than sort of resting you, if that's what you want. Not everybody wants that. Some of us like to feel calmer. Some of us like to feel sort of more relaxed. And in that case, that's fine, because you'll be having a day which suits you more. But if you are the kind of person that likes the high energy lifestyle, then just rest on your laurels today, recoup your energy, and then you can go back to being the party creature that you are. Right. Okay. I'm just reading some of the chat here. Number 7, Deanne. You did miss number 7, but I will revisit it for you. So number 7 was about, it's the 5 of Wands. It's about competition around you. It's about it feels like there's a lot of change. It's a 5. It feels like there are people around you competing for the same thing. It can be, now this can be love, it can be work, it can be money. And it feels like, if you see this image, Deanne, it's like these people are fighting with their wands. And what it means is that they're all after the same thing, and they're all sort of vigorously trying to get one over. Now, this card invites you to up your game. So it talks about, yes, you've got a goal in mind, but it could be that there are other people like trying to get there as well. So it's a card that asks you to build your game, approach things with your best energy. And it's like, it's leveling up. It's like working towards something, changing up a gear. You know where you're going, but it's not going to be an easy route, because there could be sort of people who are challenging you along the way. But this card is also a card of strength, and it means that you remain focused on what you want to achieve, okay? And don't let the competition get in the way, okay? I'm not going to literally say fight them off with the wand, but metaphorically, okay, engage your very powerful mind, because wands are about your energetic mind. Engage your mind in order to overcome the challenges put in your way by other people. I hope that resonates with you, Deanne. Let me know if that does. I'm just reading some of the feedback here. Excellent. Brilliant. I'm so pleased that has resonated with you. And it's so wonderful to see the Sean Atwood crew here again, supporting me. I'm so grateful for that. It's been a really good one this morning, I think, even though I've woken up with that 4 of Swords energy, or the reverse 3 of Cups. So thank you so much for being with me this morning. It's been fabulous. I shall be back here at 10:30 in the morning. See you then, and stay weird.